This episode of Times 2 Review is brought to you by Club XXX, the Discord server for gamers who strive to achieve extreme excessive excellence, and the official Discord server for the Times 2 Review. Find new games to play and new friends to play with in a new and growing community. Link found in the description below. Developed by Phoenix Labs and published and distributed by Epic Games, Dauntless is a free-to-play action role-playing game that was released in 2019 and involves you equipping your character with weapons and armor so that you can traverse the world hunting giant monsters called behemoths. If this all sounds familiar, then you are probably already familiar with the game Monster Hunter, which Dauntless strives to be a free-to-play clone of. Dauntless tries to give a slight MMORPG feel by having quest givers that send you out on missions to kill X amount of various behemoths. As you kill behemoths, they drop various materials unique to that specific behemoth, and these materials can be used in a crafting system to build stronger weapons and better armor so that you can go back out and fight even stronger behemoths and collect their materials, creating a game cycle that some people might get bored of at some point. There are 19 different types of behemoths visually, and each of these 19 can take up one of 7 variational versions from various elemental categories like Blaze, Frost, and Shock, to add some variation to the behemoths you will be hunting. So the question becomes, is Dauntless a game capable of holding people's interest for the long term? Or is it a game that is all grind and will ultimately get boring to players, causing them to actually shell out $30 on Steam to play the real Monster Hunter game? Let's find out together in this Times 2 review. And it's time for another Times 2 review. Hey guys, I'm Extermicide and I'm here with my buddy Ark.
What's up, everybody?
And today we are going to be reviewing Dauntless. So, typical question, normal question, have you ever played this?
I have never played this ever in my life.
I touched base with it a little bit during the open beta. Then I lost all my credentials when I reinstalled it here. So I'm starting off brand new here again, but kind of interested to see what they have actually added to the game, if anything. Just to make it clear, this is a Monster Hunter clone, which is a very popular game that actually sells on Steam for like $30. So here you got the free variant of a Monster Hunter type game. Released in 2019 technically, although most of that I think was in an open beta phase. Publisher, Epic Games. Developer, Phoenix Labs, which I'm actually not familiar with them whatsoever. This could be their one and only game that they ever made. So let's jump right into it and hit that play button.
All right, let's do it, man.
All right. Then we get a cutscene, blah, blah, blah. And I'm gonna hold space to go ahead and skip it. That way you guys, when you play it, you can go ahead and watch it in its entirety. We just want to get into the gameplay and review this mother. We got a short little tutorial here. Okay, so jump down, just follow the little blue glowy things, I guess. Pick the flowers. Well, that's nice how fast the harvesting is in this game. You can kind of do it while you're running past this shit. Okay, left click, left click, left click. Right click for a big attack. Okay, got it. Easy enough. And there's the big boy. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any fall damage in this thing. Space bar to dodge through them, okay? Oh, I broke his tail off. And he be dead, I think. Oh no, I just dazed him. Alright, he be dead.
Years passed, and a new Ramsgate arose from the chaos. With Cat leading the way.
And skipping the animation. Seems like the art style changes between the animations. So in the character customization, how do you choose your sex? Which one is it? Because it just looks like I'm default. It's just.
I think it's based on like what facial feature you have.
Got it. So it looks like it's going to be a lot more female options than it is male options. Body style, one of two body styles. Okay. Skin color. So there's not really a whole lot going on here with this customization. It's pretty simplistic. I never understood games like this too. It's like, why are you going to give adjust the eye size and the eye color, and when is anyone going to get that close to you in a game like this to actually notice all these fine details that you pumped into it? You know, how thick your nose is, your lips, your ears, your jaw. Facial extras. What do we got for facial extras here? Oh, we got some blush on her. Oh, geez. Oh, some lipstick. Jeez. All right, get me out of here. Are you ready to enter?
Get me out of here.
Enter the Shattered Isles. You will be able to change your appearance at any time. Now that's pretty cool that they actually allow you to go in and re-change your appearance at any time, but
On an approach course to Ramsgate. I'm sure you're eager to meet Cat's friend. After all, she's the hero who saved Ramsgate back before the city even had a name. But nowadays, Cat's in charge of the city's defense.
so we got a free-to-play game here with voice acting. Let's try something. I just sent you a party invite.
Sorry. Okay, but I don't know. Oh, okay. Accept party invite. Okay. All right. So it says we're both in Ramsgate now.
For you. Okay, so if you go down the stairs here, on the left-hand side, there's a quest giver. So I completed his quest, received some rams. I guess that's the form of money in this game. And then I grabbed the next quest from him. Unlock the training grounds from the Slayer's Path. So apparently there's no classes in this game. Your class is kind of based on whatever type of weapon you want to use. So there's weapons that are faster, weapons that are hit heavier. And there you are, right next to me.
What up?
Oh, and I tried to jump in front of you, and I jumped right off the cliff, off the dock, and fell to my death.
All right. That's a good tutorial. Do not do that again.
All right. Okay, there's a guy here for the quest. You ran right past. I think he has a question mark over his head. There we go. Rams 100. And then
Dummy.
accept. Okay, so it's kind of a action role play with a dash of MMO.
Progression thing. Yeah, it's like a.
Oh, these are all the weapons.
Skill based.
We get to choose a weapon here. All right.
Yeah, I think we gotta like use them all or something.
So where's the test dummies? Is that what you're hitting right now?
I'm just I'm hitting it and I'm getting some sort of update on it. Sounding echo, left, right, left.
Chain push. Oh, okay, we gotta do all those check marks. Okay, got it. Blade spin. Oh, there's combos. What the hell?
Yeah. Hit L for the full list. I like those. I'll go with the gun just in case if I get.
Oh, so we go to the bulletin board here. Hunting grounds, okay. Challenge is normal based on equipped weapon. I don't know what my equipped weapon is.
Those pickaxes, double pickaxe.
Call airship. I'm gonna click on go now. Alright, use your compass, space. And looks like we had two other guys down here, so we're actually joining in on someone else's fight. It looks like one guy over there is AFK, completely freaking AFK. Okay. This guy seems to know where he's going. I'm gonna follow him.
My guy does not run fast. He's like a little. I don't know what's going on with him.
Hold shift and he sprints.
That's what I'm trying. I trying to, but my guy doesn't run fast.
Okay, now what? Reward unlocked.
I don't know why, but my guy does not. He doesn't have a sprint. Like I'm trying to sprint and I can't. And I was doing it earlier, but
You're sprinting.
oh, there we go.
Level up.
You can heal up.
Yeah, I could. I'm not going to.
I am. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared.
Just a flesh wound.
Guy will not run quick. Coming, guys, I'm coming. I wonder if it's the weapon class that really prevents your movement sometimes, maybe.
What weapon are you using?
Pistols. Yep. I think this running back and forth is gonna get old quick. Especially when my guy doesn't run.
So I said, you guys can go ahead and run over there. I'm gonna come over here and pick some of these freaking flowers, see if I freaking need them when we get back to town.
Like literally, he's half or like 3/4 dead. By the time I got there, it was literally almost dead. It had a quarter of life left by the time I got there. Because we gotta run back up the frickin' hill again. Oh yeah, here we go again, back up the hill.
Well, this is a very small map. I know that as you progress and you get further into it, the maps expand, and it's more of actually having to hit your map key and figure out where the hell he is, because I don't think the monsters show up on the, or they're actually called behemoths. I don't think they actually show up on the map, so you have to actually run around and find where they are. All right, you ready to score this?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we're going to use our extended scoring system here, which we normally reserve for MMORPGs, but this game exhibits a lot of questing just like MMOs, so we're going to use that type of scoring. So 10 categories, we can score anywhere between 0 through 10 for each. And we are going to start off with graphics, and why don't you go ahead and kick us off with that?
You know, I really enjoyed the soft textures. Usually I'm really big into like really crisp, like a Ghost Recon Wildlands type thing. And so, but this was actually it was relaxing. It was kind of fun. So graphics wise, there's a lot of color. I really enjoyed the landscaping, and you know, obviously I think it's with that type of texture, I think they're trying to play to a lot of people's program, you know, their computers and stuff like that and everything. So I didn't have anything wrong with it. So for myself, I'm probably just gonna give it a 7.
All right, graphics for me, I actually found them to be very simplistic. They, like you said, they were kind of colorful. They're kind of on the artsy side. If you like that, great. For the type of game it is, I guess it works. I've seen that kind of art style done better. I've seen that kind of art style done worse. So I'm actually going to probably fall right there, very close to you. I'm gonna fall to 6 on this. Next we had sound and music. I'll go ahead and do this, start us off with this. So the sound effects I thought were really freaking good. There wasn't a whole lot of them, but I think the bosses, the behemoths actually had I wouldn't say a big library of sounds, but enough to make it somewhat interesting. There was more, I don't really know how to freaking score this, because I think there was more sound going on in town than there were on some of these islands with the actual behemoths. You get a little, you know, you jump on one of those things that propel you into the air, and you get a little boing sound or something like that. And you know, your weapon sounds sling, slash, or if you're using the guns, you know, bang, bang, bang. But and a couple moans and grunts from the behemoths, but it wasn't really anything that was just totally freaking mind-blowing. Music wise, again, it wasn't anything that was rememberable. Just kind of a simple theme when you're going in. I don't really recall much of a background music while we were playing, so I'm gonna land on a 5 here with sound effects and music.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you on that too. It wasn't anything that I felt that was like sticking out, that, you know, I didn't feel completely immersed into what I was doing. And The only time I like you're obviously you heard sounds like when you're using your weapon and when you're hitting things, but there really wasn't like to me there wasn't really like a whole lot of ambient sound that kind of helped build the mood. But it wasn't annoying though, so I guess I'm gonna give a point up. So for me, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay. That brings us to story. Go ahead and take this.
Honestly, dude, I mean, it was for me. It was just, it was all just about quests. I really didn't feel. I mean, you had the cutscenes that kind of worked you a little bit towards it, but I'm probably just gonna say probably a 6 or something.
All right, I'm gonna do a little bit better than that, only because, so yeah, when you log in, there's a big intro cinematic that we skipped through because we just wanted to get into the review. But when we were in town, I was noticing that if you ran up to some of the higher locations, there were these globes that you could access that would play more cinematic. One of the globes I found was the rise and fall of this particular town. It tells the backstory of it. So there is a story there. However, the quest givers weren't ones that seemed to be contributing to the story at all. It was just simply, you know, craft this, go kill 2 of these, go here, go there. They didn't really add much to the freaking story. However, there was, you know, like I said, there was those cinematics and they were nicely drawn, a different kind of animation than what we're seeing in the actual game, a totally different art style, probably a totally different division of the company probably handled those cutscenes that was fully fleshed out and voice acted, which I was actually impressed with, you know, for a free-to-play game. So I'm gonna give them an 8. All right, this brings us to combat. I'll go ahead and start us off with it. I don't really know how they could improve it. When you start training on the different weapons, they throw you in, have you pick up the weapon, they show you the freaking moves, although I didn't feel like they were explained well enough because every weapon had like maybe one particular move that was kind of hard to figure out, even though they're telling us left, right, you know, whatever, you know, they're telling us which mouse buttons to click. And even though you're doing what they're saying, it didn't seem to work. Some of them had to be used, you know, maybe while you were sprinting or, while, you know, immediately after executing a different move. So, you know, I actually felt like some of those things I unlocked just by pure button mashing and quite on accident, to be completely freaking honest. Which brings me into the actual behemoth fights. It's not like an MMO where I have 5 abilities on my keyboard that I'm using. You're primarily using left click, right click, and occasionally hitting space, you know, and maybe Q for your super move, and that's about it, you know. So yeah, there's those freaking patterns for the move, maybe left click, and then right click, but it just seems like, you know, it's a lot of random just freaking clicking and swinging and just to be honest with you, I myself really wasn't fully impressed with the combat. Yeah, in fact, after we killed something, I was kind of like, yay, you know, that was like the most excitement I could freaking garnish. Yeah. Yay, we killed it. Yeah, nothing made me feel like I just got done killing an epic boss, you know, a behemoth. It didn't feel massive to me. I'm gonna land on a 5 here.
So I did not feel immersed at all, and especially I didn't even fear for my life, knowing that I can just syringe myself right back up again. And I think from what I noticed is that when you go back into another fight, I know I used almost all of them up, and when I went back into it again, they were replenished. So I know you probably have like 5 opportunities to revive yourself before you're down. I felt that, again, I didn't feel like there was anything. I was just holding down my left click now. That's all I was doing. So I don't know. I'm not really impressed with it. I just think that there could have been something different. They could have given you more different type of skill attacks that don't require the finger mashing back and forth and stuff, whatever. So I'm giving it 4.
This brings us to gameplay. Why don't you start us off with that?
Gameplay, you know, like I said earlier, you know, and I think obviously that was my fault because I didn't understand how to move quicker. So that was a little bit of a learning curve there. I think that this is something like if you want to just have a game that you want to just chill and just, again, maybe just get in for a little bit, blow some stuff up, whatever. I think it'd be kind of fun, but I think for me, I don't have much of an attention span to want to sit there and keep repetitively. I couldn't grind that all day and do that. And so that just isn't fun for me. So, but I think it's definitely something if you got a little bit of time you want to kill, and just, you know, I like the idea of like what you're saying earlier, that, you know, as the maps get bigger, you can get out there, you can kind of, you know, you're actually kind of hunting for them and do those type of things, you know. But I think also too, when you have groups that are already like well established, and they're going in, then honestly, like, I didn't have any fear. I just went and popped a couple of times, and honestly, the fights didn't last very. There weren't like some epic battle where it took you a half hour to kill a guy. I mean, he was like literally dead within less than 5 minutes, and that's even if I like even got to him in time. So I think with that, I think I can get bored pretty quick. And then also with the repetition, I probably wouldn't have fun. I know some people like doing that stuff, and I'm not taking it away from that. This is just my own personal feeling that that's just not what appeals to me. So for me, I'm just like, give it a 4. I'm not really happy with it.
Was it my type of game? Nah, probably because of the simplicity of it. It's complicated to learn as far as your abilities go. I'm sure once you learn them, then it's a steady, easy grind. It seems like the pattern of the game is to go out, kill the behemoth, collect its parts, go back, craft better weapons or armor, and then go out and hunt the next harder freaking behemoths, collect their stuff, go back to town, craft more better freaking weapons and armor, and it's just a rinse repeat freaking cycle. I can see maybe if I had a younger son, he might like sitting in front of the computer playing a game like this, you know, because it's just very simplistic. It doesn't take much thinking once you know the commands to do. You know, you feel, yeah, there's my little character and I'm killing these big behemoth monsters. Yeah, this is cool, you know. And but for someone who expects to have a more of a challenge, you know, have a little bit more a skill place gameplay of sorts, I didn't feel any of that. I didn't feel any kind of challenge. Even when I accidentally fell off the ledges and killed myself multiple times, I felt like death had no freaking penalty in this world whatsoever. Yeah, for me, like I said, I did play this in the beta, and now I remember why I stopped playing it. Okay, because it got boring, you know, and I hate to say that, it got boring when that's all you do is come in, get the next quest, go out, kill behemoth, come back, craft better armor, go back, kill more behemoths. It was the same thing over and over again. It gets old. It gets, just like anything, it gets old quicker. However, if I was younger, you know, maybe freaking 12, my attention span, you know, doesn't go elsewhere, yeah, I could probably freaking do this very easily. So gameplay, I'm gonna like actually kind of land right there with you. I'm gonna say 4. All right, that brings us to character creation, and yeah, character creation was as simplistic can be. Some of the categories like eyes and nose and ears had lots of freaking sliders. I don't particularly understand that in a game like this, you know, why you're going to put so much detail in creating a character that no one is really going to go up and see you that freaking close and see all those freaking details. It is what it is. It was just very simplistic, and I wholeheartedly, really, honestly wasn't too impressed with it. I'm gonna land on another 4 here, dude. I feel like we're like not being fair or butchering the freaking game, but that's just how I feel about this.
So I'm gonna agree with you about the 4 with character creation, but because I think honestly, I'm gonna give it a 5, only because I think that the time they saved on the character creation, they added the voice acting. So
okay. That brings us to our next category, population. Why don't you go ahead and take this?
Population. I really didn't see a whole lot of people. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of go halfway down the line. I'm just gonna give it a 5 because I think there might be some instant zones that kind of spreads everybody else out, maybe. But even with that one right there, I really didn't hardly see anybody in it. So.
All right, I'm going to actually be generous here. This will probably be the category that I'm going to go ahead and give my highest score. I'm going to actually give them a 10 for population, and I'm basing that off of there were people running around that training ground. There were people, and training ground is important because that means these are people starting the game new. So there were people running around that training ground. There were people running around town. We actually zoned into a map where there was already a party of 4 going on, and we kind of freaking joined them. There's people playing the game, and we have reviewed some MMOs where we went and saw nobody freaking playing. So it's got an active player base. They're obviously, as much as we may be being harsh on this freaking game, as far as the scoring goes, there seems to be a following. And I guess not everyone can afford to spend $30 on Steam to play Monster Hunter. So this is the free to play alternative, so kudos for there at least being some kind of alternative out there. Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with the population. I felt like there's people actually playing. So yeah, I'm gonna get this, probably be the highest score they get from me. So yeah, 10. That brings us to UI and menus. I don't really know what to say about this. The one issue I had was at the very beginning of the game when I installed it. I have an ultra wide monitor. On the main screen, it gives you the settings in the lower right hand corner. When I went into those settings, there was no setting for my resolution on this monitor. However, if I went into game and then hit escape and went to settings, those settings within the game actually had my resolution. So their settings are not consistent. I'll at least say that much. I wasn't really underwhelmed or overly impressed with their particular layout. I've seen better. I've seen freaking worse. I'm going to land in the freaking middle here. I'm going to say a 5.
I think this is where I'm probably going to give the best review for this one. I actually really enjoyed the UI and menus because to me, once I understood them, it was easy to access them and I can get to them quick. And what I really liked most about it was that you can hit the escape button and it gave you the whole list that was just condensed. So instead of hitting different keys, P and O and L and K or whatever, like I can hit escape and I can just go down the line and grab what I want. So it's like a quick access, quick reference for me, and I really like that. And then also what I was quite impressed with the actual skill tree as well. So different you can build out, and I was pretty like that thing just kept going. And so I can imagine that they probably didn't have that many when they first started, and they just kept adding one extra one and then another, just throwing another progression tree out there to keep them busy doing things, but honestly, that was really cool. And I now granted it wasn't like Path of Exiles or something like that, but it was still pretty nice, and I enjoyed that. So I'm actually gonna get this one an 8.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about that freaking tree is it wasn't something that looked like it was copied from any other game that we've ever seen. It looked like it was unique. Right. And I have to applaud a game company when they sit there and not just exactly copy someone else and say, hey, let's bring to the board something new that hasn't been done. Let's try it this way. And it works for this game. Next, that brings us to chat spam. You want to take it?
All right, I'll give it a 10 just because I didn't have any issues with it. And I wasn't even paying attention to be honest with you. So give it the benefit of the doubt. It was great.
Okay, well, guess what? I'm going with a 10 there also because I actually was watching the chat and there was actually chat conversations going on in the chat. It wasn't overly populated with chat, a lot of chatting going on. It was people asking where is so-and-so or how to do something. So it was simple stuff. And nobody was sitting there, saying get good scrub or anything like that. They were just basically being polite with one another. Saw no actual spam. So I have no choice but to say 10. So the fact that you actually guessed on a freaking 10 is actually pretty good. I think it's actually pretty accurate for that. This brings us to our final category and probably the most important category, the cash shop and pay to win. Oh my god. Well, okay, so there seems to be at least 2 or 3 different kind of currencies in this game. The main currency seems to be platinum. Most of the stuff that we saw in the store is purchased with platinum, which you have to buy using real money. Most of it looked cosmetic. Most of it looked emotes. My biggest gripe with it, I didn't see flat out anything that was what I would consider pay to win. However, I did read in Reddit earlier today that there is some of those pay for convenience things that boost your XP. I'm not really fond of stuff like that, but I'm just gonna ignore it because I didn't really actually get to take a good look at it in the store myself. What I did take a good look at in the store, though, was the pricing of the actual platinum. How much platinum you're getting, and then what you're actually getting when you're buying these virtual clothing and these, you know, these emotes, and you're paying a fancy emote with nothing more than a wolf comes out and he howls at the freaking moon and then disappears, costs you freaking $30 in real life freaking money. And it's like, really? That's pricey as all hell to me, just for a freaking emote. And not to mention there's costumes in there, and they're making sure to push that freaking store. I saw the freaking store locations within the main town. Well, hell, like his escape, I can go to the store. I can find a store merchant here. I can find a store merchant there, and there's another one freaking way over here. Yeah, I already know how to access the store through the damn menus. Why do you have to keep throwing it in everybody's freaking face? So I just really freaking wasn't impressed with their cash app. I think they're, yeah, I understand. You're a free-to-play game. Yes, you're trying to keep your servers alive. You're trying to keep the game alive. Showing us the same freaking store over and over again and then jacking your prices to the freaking moon is not the way to go about it. I'm going with a 4 here for cash app.
I definitely feel there's a lot of cosmetics in there. But to be fair, I mean, I'm going to give it a little bit higher only because a lot of it is, I think it's going to be pay for convenience, but not necessarily a completely pay to win. So I don't know. I'm just going to give it like a 7 or something like that. So.
Alrighty. So adding my totals up, I came up with a total of 61.
And I came up with a total of 62.
Adding those totals together gives us 123. And dividing that by 2, because there's 2 of us playing, gives us a final score of 61.5, which gives us a final letter grade of with a grade of D. This game is considered below average. It is not completely horrible, and it is playable, but it falls very short in many areas, especially by today's standards. If you can overlook some of its flaws, then you might find that this game is tolerable. There are definitely better games out there to try, but if you have already tried a majority of them, then who knows, maybe this game will be that hidden treasure that will keep you entertained for a while. Anyways, that's it for our ×2 review for this game. We hope you enjoyed it and found it informative, and we will catch you again on the next ×2 review.